All right, everyone. We are here today, the tail end of our session, to talk a little bit about politics. The question that this group is going to be examining today is why is the approval rating of the U.S. Congress so low? The most recent Gallup poll available on Google from January of 2014 has the approval rating of the American Congress at 13%. I want you to think about that for a second. 13% of American citizens approve of the job that Congress is doing. Okay? Now, before we go any further, I'm actually going to address the ground rules first, just so we can get some agreement on how we're going to conduct this session. Okay? We've been talking about these rules all day, and so we're just going to keep following those rules on the board, and with two additions. Number one, we've agreed that consensus is that you can live with it and you can support it. I'm just going to chop it down with your guys' buy-in. Can you live with it? We're all going to leave this room today alive, living. There's nothing that we're going to discuss today that's worth ruining a future job or business conflict. Okay? So can we agree that we're all going to live with what's said here today and not get too crazy?
No retaliations or.
I'm not sure about this.
And the second rule that we're going to talk about is participation. I'm going to ask you guys to close your eyes for a little bit of anonymity, and I think if everyone can participate in that truly and faithfully, we'll have a much more productive discussion. Can we agree on those two rules?
Yeah.
Okay. So with that said, if you guys wouldn't mind just closing your eyes right now for a little bit, just keep them closed. Okay. Raising your hands, yes or no. Do you approve of the job that the American Congress is doing? Raise your hand.
If yes.
If yes or
if yes, raise your hand. Okay, keep them closed. Open your eyes.
We agree, we have consensus. Woo! We have reached
No, we're
consensus.
alive. We have consensus, right? Isn't that what?
Okay. So first obstacle. Okay, we got some consensus. So what we're going to do now is I kind of wrote out the agenda in the bottom right-hand corner here. All right. We have 20 minutes to come out with a decision, hopefully one, but we can settle with two reasons on why the U.S. Congress is so inefficient right now and why we don't approve of them. So I'm going to finish talking in about 20 seconds, and then we're going to go right into some group work, okay? So Summer, Jed, and Abdul, I'm going to have you guys be a team here using this pad. Lenore, Rebecca, and Nick, you guys have a pad here.
September.
September. And then Sunshine, Marshall, and Denise, you guys are going to be a team of three. And so this is just straight up brainstorming. However, let's keep it to 3 or 4 ideas.
One idea per post-it?
So you guys are going to be brainstorming why the approval rating of Congress is so low. And so before you guys do that, I want you to think about Election Day. 33% turnout at the polls. There is a mandated law in most states that your employer has to give you 2 hours off at the beginning or the end of your day to go vote. How are you going to use that time? Maybe you're considering whether to vote at all. Okay? Maybe you're driving to the polls deciding on who you want to vote for, or why you want to vote for them, or what's been good in your life the past year, what hasn't been good in your life the past year. What are some of the things that have irritated you with our current establishment? What are some of the things that you're frustrated with in our current political system? That's what I want you guys to think about, and that's what I want you to write down on these pieces of paper.
I'm lost.
Okay?
Are you asking us to write down what we're frustrated with the current political system? Or are you asking us to write down why the approval rating of Congress is so low? Those are two different
The latter,
questions.
excuse me, if I was not clear. The latter. So write down why the approval of Congress is so low. Reasons for that.
And one idea per post-it, is that right?
One idea per post-it, maximum of 4 post-its per group. So discuss, get your ideas on paper, and you'll have 3 minutes.
Okay.
They suck.
Term limits. No term limits.
I can't participate. I will, but it says my boss. There's no accountability.
President's your boss.
Well,
Then
still.
do you have an idea?
Yeah, she said Congress.
My idea
Okay,
is
keep
there
going.
is no accountability.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm not gonna say
Hey,
anything.
don't listen to what I'm saying.
Okay, what's next?
You just beat me to it, Marshall.
Are you
Do you
playing
want to
next?
do
You have
it?
one?
Why
Yeah,
do you
I'm
think
playing
this
this one.
This is great.
I think
Why?
the
Because
the problem
there's no chance of changing
everyone
It's like hopelessness.
Oh, that's good.
I think that was gonna be my
Deep
phrase.
into the,
So they don't focus on the forest for the trees. That's another way to say it.
the deep into the,
No,
No
the people
expectations
needs.
filled.
they don't focus on the people's needs.
Yeah, they focus about the outside more than the inside.
You were not
Oh, so they-
trying to change.
Yeah.
Their interest,
Their interests and outside interests.
yes.
Lobbyist.
Yeah.
What else?
We can get rid of one of the other ones too. I don't know.
No,
That's sort of how I feel. That's sort of how I feel. Like,
Focus
my child is more mature.
on people.
Just like jobs,
You don't have to put all these things, like I said.
About 1 more minute, guys.
We have
It's
someone else in
four.
perspective.
One more step.
houses,
Lack of realistic.
loans.
I'm gonna
lack of
say,
realistic priorities of budgeting.
they get paid.
Lack of budgeting priority.
Well, they get paid even when
If
they're
that does,
not.
if those two don't light the fire, what will?
All right, guys, maybe wrap up that last post-it if you've.
We can add another one.
Oh,
No, we have four.
Yeah, three or four.
Three or
Two
four.
votes for you.
Just pick the ones that you think are best.
We take his pen away.
Wow. Thank you so much.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I agree with you.
Is that right? We have some consensus here. We can do this, all right. Send that one
Oh,
in.
send it in, send it in. All right, guys, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do what we learned earlier in the week, a dump and clump. I'm going to take, this looks like about 12 suggestions here, 12 reasons, and I'm just gonna dump them on the board, okay? So the first one, low ethical standards. Okay, and then, by the way, unless someone has like a point that they wanna, are not clear about, I mean, I feel like that one's pretty clear, you know what I mean? Like a what's the word I'm looking for?
Clarify.
If you need
Like a
clarification.
clarifying. If someone needs to clarify, go for it. But if not, we're just going to throw them
So
off.
does that mean they have standards?
No, it means they don't, they have low ethical standards.
It
Oh,
does imply that.
well, you're right, you know, you're right.
Lack of realistic budgeting priorities, which is different than low ethical standards, so it's going to be in a different clump.
I think that assumes they have budgeting.
Ego in the way.
Fair enough. We're gonna comment on that.
I think you're being just, you're not helping the process. You're right, but you're not.
Another one of the things is that their ego gets in the way.
They do
That's
have
going to be a
priorities, it's not
separate.
realistic.
Oh, somebody wrote they suck. I was going to say that. I thought that was productive.
So we're just going to keep on going through here. So the next one is the expectations of the people aren't fulfilled. Expectations of the people are not fulfilled. No accountability. Would that be the same as no expectations filled, or would that be a different one?
It's different.
It's different.
Quick consensus. Okay.
That implies they listen.
They get paid even when they don't deliver. Would that be
No
no accountability?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. They suck.
Ego?
Normally, I'd clarify that, but we're just gonna.
We're going to cruise right through that.
So, hopelessness. They're not even trying to change. People are feeling hopeless.
No
accountability.
They
so
suck?
is that
They
no-
suck?
Yeah, I think I might go they suck, yeah.
Yeah.
Would that be no expectation? Okay, so what do we
suck.
think?
I think that's a good example.
Okay, that works.
Can we send
They
this to
don't
them?
deliver.
No accountability.
No accountability.
All right, we got 3 or 4 more. No term limits. Interesting. No term
Oh,
limits.
with the Senate?
I like that one.
Okay, that's true.
No term, is that accountability? Or,
So we have no expectations filled. We have no accountability. They suck. Hopeless. Ego's in the way. That could maybe be under hopeless. Like no hope of change at the same
I think
time.
it's always no accountability.
Okay, no accountability because of no term limits. Okay, so well, we got 2 more. Not enough focus on people's needs, job, medical, etc.
they do or they don't?
The first one.
Congress
They don't
does
have a-
not.
Yeah,
no
no
expectation.
expectations filled.
Yeah.
Okay, no accountability.
Right.
So, how would we group? So what we're going to do is we're going to come up with a name for these 2. I'm going to put it here, and then we're going to figure out some sort of identifier for these miscellaneous 5. So for this one, no accountability. How would we group that even more?
Ownership.
Or is ownership? How does everyone feel about
Can we
that?
just call it accountability?
Yeah, no accountability.
Accountability?
No accountability. Yeah, don't say accountability. Say no accountability.
Okay. So no accountability. How about for this one? What do you guys think? No expectations filled and not focused enough on people's needs. How would you define that group?
Out of touch.
Okay.
Maybe
Yeah, out of
stronger.
touch.
Even. I don't know. Maybe something that's
That's a
stronger.
good one. No, I like out of touch.
Do you guys like that? Out of touch?
Yeah.
Is it out of touch or they don't care?
So maybe out of touch /
They don't
indifferent.
care sort of why
Indifferent.
they're out of touch, right?
Indifferent or something.
They don't care why they're out of touch. Is that what I
I
heard?
like indifferent.
How about
Indifference. Indifference.
Yeah.
To the needs of
Indifference.
the common American person.
Right.
Indifferent
Yeah.
to anything.
To citizens.
outside
It's
of
interesting
that.
because that ties back to the accountability, because they're indifferent because nobody holds them accountable.
Right. Which all comes down to.
Okay, so we've now taken care of this. So we now have 5 more.
Well, egos could be they suck.
Right.
Yeah.
So how?
I think it's all.
I think they suck could be an overarching umbrella.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so low ethical standards. Would that be underneath they suck?
Low
Yeah,
ethics.
I think
Right.
it
Yeah, they
actually
suck.
goes along with it, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ethical
Who wrote
standards,
they
they
suck?
suck.
I want to know who
And
wrote
then
the
lack of realistic.
Marshall, was that your idea?
No, it was their team.
Oh.
Lack of
You can't tell who it
realistic
was?
Budget priorities.
budgeting priorities.
That's indifferent. That's sort of different.
I think that,
category.
yeah.
That's indifferent.
I
Because
think-
they're disconnected to reality.
Well, the lack of budgeting priorities could also be no accountability, right?
Right, because they just.
Right.
Why do you think that?
I'm not. I don't have. Why do I have to make budget priorities? I don't need to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if we go over budget, so what?
But, right.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Okay, sweet.
Are you guys okay with that?
So I'm,
Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah.
don't, I'm okay either way, but.
How do you guys want to group?
They suck.
They
Pointless.
I think it should be a third category called they suck.
All right.
Suck.
Is everyone in agreement? They suck.
I'd
Okay.
like to know which of the 3 ladies came up with that.
3 ladies?
It's 2.
It's 2.
Oh, just 2 of
You
you.
have the tables
Oh.
wrong. You're missing someone over here.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's right. I thought you bailed out though.
I like how you made that one the
We're
biggest one.
sending this
too.
over in the
All right.
Congress. This
Come on,
week.
keep going here, because
Okay, guys.
this buzzer's going to go off, and this is fun.
Here's how we're doing. Okay. Now you get 2 votes. You get 2 votes for these 3 choices. Okay. So you think that what's up, Nick?
Go ahead, finish.
Okay. So you have 3 choices. You have 2 votes. We're going to do it again with our eyes closed. So I'm going to ask you guys. No accountability. Do you think it's because they're not accountable? It's because they're indifferent, or because they suck? Encompassing the low ethical standards, the hopelessness of change, the egos. That's the definition of suck in this context. So egos and ethics. So what we're going to do is, if I can have everybody, does everybody understand?
Yep.
Yeah, close your eyes.
2 votes. Close your eyes. All right. So right off the bat, for no accountability,
We get 2 votes, right?
2 votes. Is your hand raised, Denise?
No.
Okay. All right.
Can we vote for the same thing twice?
Okay.
Raise both your hands.
All right,
I'm
keep
trying to figure
them
out how to
close,
do
keep
without
them close,
asking,
keep them close. All right, if they're indifferent. Okay, and how about they suck? Okay, 3. Okay, so we had some. Oh, you're good. Oh, you can open your eyes. So we had some abstinence there.
Yes.
Oh, really?
There's nothing wrong with abstinence.
Why did he look at her for that? What's that about?
I'm looking into the camera. Anyways. So with 5 minutes left here, I'll cut that out. And so,
Edit that out.
yeah. So with 5 minutes left in this session, it looks like we have 5, 4, and 3 with a couple abstains. And so if we were to take out they suck and just talk between no accountability and indifference, how could,
Describe how they suck.
yeah, just describe how they suck. How can we potentially differentiate between indifferent and no accountability? Or can we? It's over to the floor.
It seems like they could care, but they're not accountable. I don't know. There's no urgency to care.
Okay, so we're going bullet points here, so just shout out a sentence or 2. What do you guys think? So, do you guys think these are different, hand in hand?
I think
Or-
they're indifferent because they're not required to be accountable. They're not held accountable.
They're hand in hand, in other words.
Yeah.
There's
So
no way.
really it's all about
There's no way to
accountability?
hold them accountable.
No, I didn't say that. I
I'm
just said they are
asking.
not
I'm just
held
asking.
accountable.
Who's going to hold them accountable?
We the
do.
people.
We hire them.
We the people.
We idiots.
Do we
We are
have-
the idiots who
Do we
rehire
have
them.
a tool for keeping
In
it
order to
accountable?
form a more perfect union.
There aren't effective, I mean, I think basically where we're coming down is the direction you're going is that there aren't really effective tools to hold them
make them
accountable.
Agreed.
The voting process doesn't work well enough to hold them accountable enough.
It's not them, it's the system.
Process change, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about
Fair
that.
enough.
So
Maybe both.
let me float this out there. So it sounds like the group agrees between the accountability issue and if they're indifferent. What if we said something like the system allows them to be indifferent and unaccountable? I'm just going to float that out there for you guys to chew on. Is that kind of what I'm hearing? I'm hearing a lot of system and process and unaccountable. What do you guys think about that? Just let it mull. So if we had
That's
to
tough.
write this down in one sentence, why the rating of Congress's approval is so low, how could we write that sentence?
They don't care and we can't change it.
They don't care. They've gotten comfortable
Okay.
with getting away with what they do.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
So I'm just going to say this sentence, they don't care and we can't change it. If we had to summarize the current question and the current answer, how many people would be okay with that? By a show of hands, you can keep your eyes open. They don't care
I don't care.
and we can't change it.
Do we need a why to that just before we vote?
I
We don't need a
disagree.
why. I'm just saying if you agree, yes or no.
I'm having trouble with it because we
Okay.
can change it. We cannot revote them, but we do. So
It's the system.
Why-
I don't
why-
know.
why
I
do
think
we-
it's that they don't work together. They're so polarized because,
How
and
do
so
you
they
change-
don't try and
How do
work
you
together.
change it though?
Fire Rush Limbaugh. No, I'm just joking.
So that's
We just found out that you're a Democrat.
Can we
Please
put that
note
in the
that she
parking lot?
leaned
We'll
over
talk
to the
about that
camera
after
to
this
say
session.
that.
We're gonna go. That's outside the scope of this session. We can
Very
talk
good.
about that in the next break if you still feel strongly about
Over a
that.
beer.
I think
I
we
think
can
she's still gonna feel
change it.
strong.
So in the last minute here, as time's wrapping up, is there one thing? Is there one word that we could write down if we just narrowed it down to one word that the majority of this session could agree on? What would that one word be? Between
Sucks.
Sucks.
really.
We could agree on that.
Yeah.
We could agree on that, but I don't know if it's useful. I would go with indifference.
Okay.
They are indifferent.
Why is that more
Indifference.
useful than sucks?
Because
Just because they're hopeless doesn't mean we need to be They are hopeless. indifferent.
Just because
That
they-
could work. What if
I don't know.
they weren't?
So
We're
I don't
not
think
trying
they're
to. We're not.
I don't think they're indifferent.
Indifferent to us, indifferent to the people's
I
needs.
don't think
You don't think they are?
indifferent to the people.
Okay. So what if, so kind of boiling it down
Yeah.
from indifferent. If I ask for consensus on they suck, could everybody live with it?
No,
Yeah,
No.
I can live with it.
no.
How about they're not accountable?
Could everyone live with the statement that our current Congress is not accountable?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can live with that.
And that's
Review and
that.
close, he's done.
Done.
Number 2.
Close it out, buddy.
And so it appears we have consensus. So that's it. We agree.
So remind us what we've done.
So what we've done is we took a straw poll on how many people approved of Congress. We brainstormed some different ideas on why we don't approve of Congress. We grouped those into the 3 main subjects. We discussed those subjects and we were able to boil down that to the fact that our current Congress is not accountable. That's what we've achieved here in about 19 minutes.
Does everyone agree?
Oh, I can't read lips. Yeah, does everyone agree with this? Does everyone agree with this statement? Our current Congress is not accountable.
Yep.
Yes.
Great.
Done.
Thank
Thanks
you
for
listening.
coming. Woo! shit, I'm depressed now. Okay, 10 minutes to spare. Well done, well done. What did you do well?
Seconds, 10 seconds. 10 seconds.
Was I in the time limit?
Yeah, 10 seconds to spare.
Awesome. I had really set out a goal of finishing and getting a decision in 20 minutes. That was I actually set that goal before I picked my topic. I really wanted to, go from start to finish and use everything we've learned here, and I think I.
So what helped you get there? What did you do that went well that helped you get
I
there?
actually began with the end in mind.
You facilitated?
I'm reading a book, not quite. I'm reading a book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and one of
Stephen
those.
Covey's book, great book.
Great book. Began with the end in mind. So I kind of knew that it would be one of these three. I didn't know exactly, but I knew that it would kind of be like a blanket statement. So when I designed this session to kind of flow backwards, and then I just kind of arrived, dump and clump would probably be best. I didn't want to do a round robin because sometimes those can go a little long. I kind of wanted to take the time. I wanted to still hold on to the reins pretty well. And then...
Good.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else in your mind that you like that you want to talk about, or
I think...
that went well?
I think it overall went pretty well.
Okay.
I know you said don't use red. I am a big believer in kind of breaking rules correctly sometimes. I really wanted to do red right here. I was hoping to be a little bit darker red, but no, I do think red, when used correctly, can
Which is to stand out and make it different. All right, help him out. What else went well?
You're really comfortable with your stuff.
We started getting dysfunctional, and you very calmly and quietly started walking through the circle.
And you are so big that that's like a don't mess with me.
Yeah.
It works. Like, wow.
It was very effective.
Good. What else went well?
I just think it's astonishing that probably one of the more controversial subjects that's ever, never talk about politics and religion. He gets us to a consensus in 20 minutes. I just think that's astonishing. This could have so easily degenerated into
totally.
nothing.
Yeah, but
So the
you gotta
control
go back
that
to
you
the
have.
number there, 0 and 9. We started already with it.
Yeah.
Well,
And the thing
that's
is,
true.
yes, and if this would have